Hi guys, and welcome to this video on the Unitary method, part of our general maths course over here in Australia, but used for two of the world. Don't worry if you're not in Australia or you're not in whatever year 11, it's fine. The Unitary method is the Unitary method and is part of a fabulous course and an introduction to maths. My name is Darren, MaffsGuru, and it is really good to see you. If you haven't already done so and you are new to my channel, can I ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel? There's about 8 people. I know, it's fine. But why subscribe? It just lets me know you're watching. It's weird sitting in this room talking to myself, basically, wondering if anyone's ever going to watch any of these videos. And by you clicking subscribe, I just go to myself, yes, one more person is watching my videos. Thank you very much. There is also MaffsGuru.com, where all of these videos are sorted by textbook, by chapter. They have downloadable notes. There is time codes. There is all sorts of stuff over there. Exam questions. Free to sign up. Just head over there and let your mates know. Okay, so this lesson we are looking at, yes, basically what the Unitary method is and how to use it. And it is funky. I've been recording a load of Year 9 and Year 10 videos, and there is massive amounts of work in lots of different chapters. Thankfully for this bit of course, you only need to know, roughly speaking, what it is and how to solve some of the most basic questions. So, trying to recap all the work that's gone on before, it's all so different. Yeah, this first section of the course is just trying to sort of recap all the important maths that you're going to use later on. So we're dealing with decimals and percentages and fractions and Unitary method and all that funky maths using your calculator to help you solve these type of questions. So if you haven't already watched them, MaffsGuru.com, head back, have a look. They are there for you to watch. But what is a unit? I couldn't resist it. There are so many cheesy puns in this course. I typed in unit into, and that came out, it's a, no. Okay. A unit in maths. Now, I love the idea of going shopping. I really don't. hate going shopping. My other half walks around the supermarket and basically is looking at the unit cost. We're trying to find a bargain and a best buy for just about everything. How do we do that? Well, thank you so much, Coles and Woolies. You've put those little unit things in the corner that says, this is how much one unit costs. So for example, using a really bad image from the internet, we have found here that there is ketchup, which is basically $2.89, and ketchup, which is $2.09. Which one is the best buy? Well, obviously I'm going to buy this one here, the $2.09, aren't I? Well, maybe, but why am I borrowing this? Well, let's have a look. You can't actually see here at this moment in time how big this is, but it says that, can we find out? Oh yeah, this is 44.5 ounces. Again, this must be an American thing, against 35 ounces. So basically they're two different capacities of ketchup. So which one is the best value? Well, they tell you here. And funnily enough down there as well, I don't know why they show it twice. This thing here is a unit price. So it says 4 per ounce. Now you can't see that, but per ounce it is $6.94. That can't be right. 6.94 cents, I think that's supposed to be. So per ounce it's 6.94, and here it basically says unit price per ounce here is 6.54. So if I was going to look at that, I'd be looking at myself saying, aha, this one here is the better value because it's less per ounce. So if you ever go shopping, look at those things. It's fascinating. Sometimes you're actually better off buying 2 of something than the 1 because the unit pricing and whatever else actually works better for you if you don't get suckered into buying bigger is better for you. So we're going to try and find the unit cost of 1 unit. And generally speaking, to find the unit cost, which means one thing, I'm going to take the total cost of all the items and divide by how many items there were. So if I walked into a shop and bought, I don't know, 334 jelly babies, a pack with 334 jelly babies, and it cost me $6, then basically I could work out how much each of those jelly babies cost me. Oh, how exciting. By doing 334 divided, well, generally speaking, we would do it in cents. 336 divided by 600, because there's 600 cents in that. And I'd work out how much each of those jelly babies was costing me. If we use this as an example that I've slightly adapted from the Cambridge General Mathematics Units 1 and 2 textbook, and thank you to Cambridge for letting me use their examples. You guys rock. Their textbook is amazing. We have 24 golf balls costing $86.40. Okay, so I've got 24 golf balls is giving me $86.40. How much it cost? And I'm going to write up here golf, and I'm going to write up here cost. How much does 1 golf ball cost? Awesome. Well, looking at my thing there, it says unit cost is equal to the total cost of all the items, $86.40, divided by how many items there are, 24. Can't do that in my head. So, firing up my CAS calculator and moving it over just a little bit. If we do 86.4 and I divide that by 24, it gives me 3.6. What does that mean? Now don't forget, we are dealing with money here. You can't just write that the unit cost therefore would give me 3.6. Doesn't make any sense. We're looking at the cost. It says how much does one golf ball cost. So the first thing we've got to make sure is we put the dollar sign. The next thing we've got to make sure is that all money must have 2 decimal places. If your calculator doesn't do it to 2 decimal places, you have to add that 0 on, okay? Vitally important. So many people make silly mistakes here by not understanding what the calculator is showing them or by not realizing we're dealing with money. Now if we move on, because this is the actual question from the text, but it says, if 24 golf balls cost $86.40, how much does 7 golf balls cost? Okay, so again, we know that one golf ball, the cost of one golf ball was 86.40 divided by 7, which meant that one golf ball was $3.60. Now, if that is one golf ball, how do I now work out what 7 golf balls were? Well, hopefully, so one ball costs $7.60? No! $3.60. If I multiply that by 7, I am going to get the stunning value of, times my previous answer by 7, $25.20. And again, look at that calculator. Does it show me 2 decimal places? No. Am I dealing with money? Yes. So I have to make sure there that I use the right thing. Now, there are other ways of working this out for the unit cost. I tend to do it in a slightly different way. So if I draw a line down here, I actually put it as equals. And I say, well, okay, I've got 24 golf balls is equal to $86.40. Okay, so I say golf and cost. Now, if I want to find one golf ball, I've got to get from 24 to 1. And the only way I can get from a number to the number 1, other than subtracting 23 in this case, but we don't do, is divide by itself. So I'm going to divide by 24, which means I have to do the same there and divide by 24. Now, we've already done that calculation. That gave me 3.60. And because the question now says I want 7 golf balls, I'm going to want to get from 1 to 7. Do you notice what I'm doing? All of the thing is asking me to deal with golf. So I've been given 24. I get down to 1 golf ball because I'm then going to get up to 7 golf balls. And how to go from 1 to 7? I times by 7. How do I therefore get from there to there? Actually, let's do the arrow in the same way as I did before. I have to times by 7. So 7 golf balls is equal to $25.20. This is the way I teach way in year 9 and year 10, because for so many questions, that working out makes it simple for just about everything. More tricky questions. Darren travels from his house to the city if the city is 50 kilometers from his house and it takes him 45 minutes. Now, do you see what they're doing there? They're relating now kilometers and minutes. So if I was going to do this my way, I would be saying, okay, so 50 is equal to 45. Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense because 50 can't equal 45. But what if I say kilometers and minutes? How long will it take him to travel 130 kilometers? Oh my goodness. Well, look at what they're asking me to find. So I go 130 kilometers. Because they're asking me for kilometers, I put it in my kilometers. And I always write the 1 in between because I'm going to find out how long it takes to go 1 kilometer to then work out how long it takes to get 130 kilometers. So see what I'm doing? The question gave me the 2 things to relate. I wrote at the bottom what it told me one of the units was, that 130 kilometers, and I wrote a 1 in between. All right, so how do I go from 50 to 1? Well, you always divide by the number. There we go. So 50 divided by 50 is 1. How do I go from 1 to 130? I times by 130. And what we do in maths on one side, we must do to the other. So this is now just replicating what I did before. Let's fire up my CAS calculator. So I'm firstly going to deal with 45 divided by 50 gives me 0.9. So it takes me 0.9 minutes to go 1 kilometer. Now, please don't think of that as 90 seconds because it really isn't, all right? When we're dealing with time, it's out of 60 seconds. I'll show you how long that takes in just a minute. I'm now going to times that by 130, which gives me 117. So therefore, I now know if I was going to write a sentence answer, it would take 117 minutes to travel 130 kilometers. Again, this working out for me makes a lot more sense. Alternatively, you can do the formula, and if I do the formula, what did we say? The total cost for all the items. We don't have a total cost here. That's where life gets confusing. So if I was going to do 45 minutes divided by 50 kilometers, that would give me 0.9, which I would then multiply by 130 to give me 117. Now, again, I actually prefer my way of doing it. It's totally up to you which you prefer to do. I think this formula here actually gets a bit confusing after a while. Best Buys. We love Best Buys. It goes back to that first example that I was talking about a moment ago. It's like, well, which is the better buy? If a shop sells 2 liters of brand A milk for $2.99, all right? So 2 liters of brand A milk for $2.99, right? So what have I got? Liters and cost. I've got 2 liters is equal to $2.99. That's brand A. Brand B, I've got liters and cost for brand B. So how many liters have I got? I've got 1 liter is equal to $1.95. And for brand C, I've got liters and cost and 600 milliliters. So that's actually 0.6 liters. And again, we have to be careful there, but conversions is $1.42. So which one's the best buy? Well, we don't know at this moment in time. Why? Because they've got different liters. So I need to go back and let's convert them all to 1 liter. Now the good news is this one's already done for me. So that's already got a unit cost. 1 liter at that supermarket costs $1.95. How do I go to 1 liter here? Well, I'm going to put 1 liter under the column, and to get from that number to 1, I divide by itself, which means I'm going to divide that by 2. Likewise here. Now a decimal is also pretty funky. I want to get to 1 liter. How do I get from 0.6 to 1? The trick to maths is, if you want to get to 1, divide the number by itself. So I'm going to divide this by 0.6, which means I also have to divide that by 0.6 as well. Firing up my calculator, let's put it in between these two so that it makes sense. So I've now got to do 2.99, oh, he says 2.99, no, 0.99 divided by 2 gives me $1, and rounding to 2 decimal places because it's money, 50 cents. So $1.50. What about this one? 1.42 divided by 0.6 gives me $2.37. Right, so we now know that for shop A, 1 liter costs $1.50. In shop B, 1 liter costs $1.95. And in shop C, it costs $2.37. So which would you buy? And please don't say shop C, because you're going to lose a lot of money. So obviously in this situation here, I would buy brand A milk. Why? Because for $1, it is cheap. Sorry, for 1 liter, it is cheaper. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of this video with unit pricing. Thank you so much for watching. It is awesome to see you. Hopefully you are well. If you haven't already done so, please go over to MaffsGuru.com, sign up, absolutely free. All the videos there, downloadable notes. What more could you want? YouTube, subscribe, lets me know that you're watching. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you in another video. And if you can tell your mates about this channel, I'd be deeply grateful. All right, take care of yourself. See you again soon. Bye-bye.